Hold up. Yeah.
To this afternoon's qualifying session here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. With the rain now falling, we can expect a really exciting session here at Silverstone. The high speeders will definitely cause the drivers issues, and we could see some yellow or even red flag incidents.
It will certainly cause the drivers all sorts of issues, but if they want that all-important pole position for tomorrow's race, they're going to have to push hard and believe in the car. This is certainly going to make predicting the outcome of qualifying very difficult.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is FoxyDude98 here. Welcome back to a brand new F1 2015 career mode video for you guys today here on my channel. We are back with the Silverstone Grand Prix here, and we are ready for qualifying. As you can see on your screens, it is pouring down with rain. We're on the blue marked full wet tyres, so hopefully we can try and get a good result here in Silverstone, but I'm never very good in the wet weathers on this game because it's very difficult to handle the car, and I've set the car up for very low downforce, just like I did in Austria and Canada in the previous two races. So with me not having a lot of downforce, it's going to be difficult. But anyway, as you can see, Lewis Hamilton there streaking clear. That's the guy we have to beat. And I was considering changing from Spa onwards, because that's like a summer break. It kind of makes sense. Changing the qualifying. I don't know if I'm allowed to change the qualifying to do more than a one-shot qualifying session. If I can't do it, it's just one-shot qualifying, I'll keep it as. Otherwise, I feel like I want to do more. I think it's just one-shot qualifying only, though. But if I can change it, I'll probably change it to like a 10-minute qualifying session, just because obviously it's, unless actually no stuff like that. I'm going to change. I'll keep it as it is. One shot quali. It makes it a bit more difficult then, you know, so it doesn't give us the chance to improve. So if we make a mistake, it's tough luck, and I'm going to keep it as it is. So just ignore everything I've said for the first part of the lap, basically. But as you can see, going through Maggots and Beckett's, you can see we have closed up massively on Lewis Hamilton as we head up down the back straight now. Coming towards, we've got the fastest middle sector, as you saw there, or my fastest middle sector. Now, as we head down towards Stowe Corner here, you can see we've closed up massively on Lewis Hamilton. We actually break, and we actually get the job done on Hamilton, so we're theoretically on pole, but again, I'm a massive understeer. I ran really wide, lost the back end of the car, and my chances of taking pole were pretty much gone. So we come through the final few corners here in this British Grand Prix, and it looks like from what's going to happen, we're going to be ending up in 4th place. We run wide around the corner, and it's going to be 4th place on the grid for us today. Not a very good session. I would have liked to have hopefully got 3rd or 2nd, but I'll let the commentators speak their bit. We'll get onto the Grand Prix, and hopefully we can have a better race than we did qualifying.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
Well, it's a great result for the team, and one that we were expecting from them. Tomorrow, they'll be expecting both cars on the podium if it all goes to plan.
It's Sunday afternoon, and that means it's time for Formula One. This week finds us in the lush English countryside as the teams make their final preparations before the start of the British Grand Prix here in Silverstone. Here's today's pole sitter, Lewis Hamilton. When I was speaking to him early on, he said he has total confidence in himself, his Mercedes car, to take that race victory today.
He's definitely going to be able to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
Well, it's not been the best season so far for Mercedes. The Brackley-based team have struggled when they were expected to be one of the front runners. Where's it been going wrong for them?
It's hard to say. They have a good power unit, they have two of the best drivers on the grid with Lewis and Nico, and they have excellent management. But something just isn't clicking for them. I'm sure they're working flat out at the factory in a bid to turn their fortunes around.
Okay then, guys, as you can see, we are on the grid now, ready for the British Grand Prix. It's theoretically my home Grand Prix because I'm from Britain, but we are Sebastian Vettel, and it is lights out, and away we go for the British Grand Prix here. A decent start by us, not the best of starts, however, Massa comes up alongside us, but we managed to get him perfectly going into turn 1, sticking to the slipstream with Kimi Raikkonen here, and now, can we make a move around the inside? We do, but we make a move on Raikkonen and a move on Nico Rosberg. Rosberg stays with us, though, as we head down now towards turn 3 here. So Rosberg stays with us, but for some reason he backed out of it, and we have taken 2nd place in the British Grand Prix. But you can see straight ahead, Hamilton has shot off like a bullet down this Wellington straight. So we need to catch up to him quickly. We come now down towards Luffield here, seeing if we can get anywhere near Hamilton. He's already like over a second clear, and we've only entered the 1st sector, which is absolutely shocking for us. But we continue onwards now, and we come down towards what used to be the, what was the old pit straight. This used to be the old pit straight in Silverstone until they made the extension, and now we're at a different area of But we come through, I think it's Club Corner. I know a lot of the corners around Silverstone, but again, at the same time, I'm not sure where every single corner is. But I know definitely we're coming through Maggots, and now Beckett's here through this very, very long, sweeping S section. Probably one of the best corners sections on the F1 calendar. It's so good, and a lot of drivers love just really giving it all coming through there. But Hamilton already 2.2 seconds clear. Rosberg only 3/10 behind us as we're coming up to finish the first lap here. We come through Stowe Corner. This time we didn't make it go too wide like we did in qualifying. You see Rosberg very, very close behind us as we now come through this final little section here to complete the first lap. And the home favourite Lewis Hamilton leads the Grand Prix ahead of us, Sebastian Vettel, Rosberg in third, and Raikkonen down in fourth position, I believe. I'm a bit concerned though, because as you can see, Hamilton, as we go very, very wide into turn 1 and turn 2, I'm concerned though because Hamilton has absolutely shot off, and you can tell that. But let's get a replay of the start first. So you can see we get bogged down at the start. You can see Bottas is actually got a run on us going into turn 1, and Massa on the other side. But luckily we managed to outbrake the pair of them, so it's not too bad. We come then towards Kimi Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg. We make a daredevil move right round the inside of both of them. Rosberg leaves us the space. He stays alongside us, and he has the inside line going into turn 3, but he just backs out of it completely, and he wants to get on the racing line, which is a bit of a strange one. And we take the position from Rosberg. Whilst I was having that scrap with Rosberg, it gave Hamilton the opportunity. You can see him there just absolutely blitzes away from me and Rosberg. Raikkonen goes for a move on Nico Rosberg, but nothing's going to come from it as we come now down towards Luffield Corner here. Rosberg trying his best to keep up with me, but he's got Raikkonen behind him, so he needs to try and cover him off. But we now come towards the old pit straight. You can see the gap Hamilton pulls away straight away, and it's so difficult to catch the Mercedes anyway, that the fact that Hamilton's pulled Lily a 2-second gap on us already in less than a lap isn't a good sign. But we come through Maggots and now Beckett's here. You can see what I mean, just this sweeping S section is just such a good corner to take on, even in the game. It's so fun when you can do it flat out and you get it perfect. Sometimes you're going to get it wrong. And there we can see a random glitch of 4 random tyres on the middle of the circuit. So well done, Codemasters. Nice set of tyres that we wanted to see stuck in the middle of the circuit. But we skipped to lap 3. Now Rosberg was actually closing in on me, and all of a sudden there was just some contact. I wasn't really sure what happened. I don't know if Rosberg or Raikkonen got taken out, but we're going to have a look at the replay if it's in here. So as we now enter towards this final corner here, I accidentally, so you can see Rosberg is right behind us, and he's got the slipstream. So he then pulls over to the left-hand side, right-hand side, and all of a sudden, he just spins around. Now, my car never jolted, so I don't think that I made contact with Rosberg. We're going to see from his POV. We're going to go backwards a little bit, because it's a little bit too far behind. Now this is better. So he gets a good run on us. You can see we get a very bad exit going into the final corner. Rosberg then moves over to the right-hand side. He then pulls up, and then, like, spins like he didn't even touch me, and he just got spun around, which is really, really weird. Now, I'm really sorry to say it, guys, but that was literally it. Yep, that was it. Rosberg spun around. Raikkonen never caught up to me. I was going to show you the pit stop, but then I thought, what's the point in showing you a pit stop when nothing else happened? You can see Raikkonen closing in on me. Rosberg, Bottas behind. Hamilton, I never got anywhere near. And, yeah, so what a British Grand Prix. It was boring, basically. Just plain old boring. You're never gonna get every single Grand Prix as an absolute dream. But there we are on the podium. Hamilton wins it. Now, don't worry, guys, because showing you just that would just be mean. So, as you can see, there's Hamilton on the podium. There we are, picking up our trophy here in Silverstone. Second place. We've lost 7 points in the championship, unfortunately, to Lewis Hamilton, which is a bit of a shame for us, because I kind of wanted to extend my lead in the championship, but you can never extend your championship lead all the time, especially when you're battling the Mercedes cars in a slightly slower car, which is the Ferrari. Nevertheless, you can see that everyone celebrates. But as you can see, there's the final result, though, guys. You can see I was 12 seconds or 20 seconds. I didn't even know how far behind I was. I was 17 seconds, I think it says some of that. But we're back, though. We're back with the next race here in Hungary. I didn't want to show you just the British Grand Prix. I didn't want to show that because there was nothing happened. Nothing. That's why I skipped from lap 3 to the end of the race. Nothing happened after that Rosberg collision. So we're back, and we're going to be going to round 10 now, which is at the Hungaro Ring. Qualifying has already finished. We are ready to start the race here. Nico Hulkenberg looking pretty good in his Force India. Too bad it's too slow. But anyway, again, I hope you guys do enjoy seeing 2 races. What's going to happen from now onwards is if there's a race like Silverstone where there was no action whatsoever, I will go and do another Grand Prix. However, if there's a lot of action in one race and it can last about 17-18 minutes, I will just keep that one race in. So if there's no action in one, I will be doing 2 races. So this is going to be race number 2 of the episode, just because nothing happened in Silverstone. It would just be a pointless video to upload for you guys. But you can see we qualified in 3rd position for the Grand Prix. Hungary, a very poor circuit for me, but we got the 5 lights going, and it's lights out, and away we go. This time in the Hungarian Grand Prix, we get a very, very poor start from us. I think Kimi Raikkonen, you can see him there, he shot off like a bullet as well. He comes up to our right-hand side, but we do a switchback on Raikkonen, a beautiful switchback going into turn 1. We have a look at Nico Rosberg as well. Rosberg, though, unfortunately gets much better traction than us going out of turn 1, and we're going to have to stick up behind him. Raikkonen just behind us. It's tiring commentating. But anyway, we're going through turn 3, very, very wide indeed. Rosberg and Hamilton, you can see, pulling away. I've got no temperature in my tyres at all, and Raikkonen is just there, and Mercedes are blitzing away. And I was worried at this point, Raikkonen all over my rear wing. He won't even leave me alone. He's just stuck to me like a magnet. But we're coming now down towards this tricky chicane area. You can see the Mercedes are not pulling away as much as Hamilton did in Silverstone, but they are pulling away nevertheless, and I kind of want to catch them up. But Hungary is one of my weakest circuits on the calendar, so I'm going to be lucky to hopefully... I'll be lucky if I extend my lead in the championship. But anyway, we come through this little fast S section on the first lap here. Rosberg is currently out front, about 1.3 seconds back. Raikkonen only 2/10 behind me. Hopefully Ferrari gives some team orders and say Raikkonen that Raikkonen is not allowed to pass me. Because I'm the championship leader and I want to stay there. I want to keep my championship lead. But we come around now through the final corner here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And on the end of the first lap, you can see Hamilton leads, Rosberg second. I'm in third, Raikkonen fourth. Unfortunately, it's about a 1.4 second gap, and that's probably not looking like it's closing anytime soon. So, could we be seeing a replica of the British Grand Prix, whereby Hamilton managed to streak clear and I never saw him ever again? Or can we do something magical, close up on the Mercedes and try and overtake them? But it's going to be difficult around Hungary because, again, like I said, it's my weakest track on the calendar in the thing, and it's a circuit that I've never really liked. We're going to get a replay of the start, though, of the Hungarian Grand Prix. So you can see us there in third. Raikkonen alongside, as you can see, he's got a very good run on us going down into turn 1. And I then do a beautiful switchback maneuver because I wanted the inside line into turn 1. I have a look at Rosberg. Rosberg gave me the space, to be fair. However, it was just nothing was ever going to come from it. Rosberg has better traction than Mercedes, and he was going to stay in front there. So you can see I go very wide into turn 2, but luckily Raikkonen's just too far back to make any sort of maneuver. You can see my tyres just aren't up to temperature. I'm sliding all over the circuit. Now, as we come up the hill towards this blind turn 4, you can see all the cars streaking clear. And there I am in third position. Raikkonen just a little bit behind. And we've got the Williams cars just slotting in behind them. Hamilton leads, Rosberg second, Vettel third, Raikkonen fourth, and Bottas and Ricciardo and Massa. Don't know why I'm talking like this, it's retarded. I'm just going to stop now. So as you can see, we're coming through this difficult S section of the circuit. This is probably the strongest part of the track for me. Just because I set the car, it was difficult for a setup around Hungary because I could go with straight line speeds because there's a lot of straight lines, but it's also hard to overtake, so I risked this straight line speed. I kind of did what I did in Spain, set the car up good for corners, but I didn't set it up massively for straight line speed, and I don't know, at the moment it's not doing well for me because the Mercedes have struck clear of us, but we come around the final corner here at the end of the first lap, as we have managed to maintain our position here in third place on the grid. We skip now ahead all the way up to lap 8, so unfortunately it's just been another one of these races. Now you can see Rosberg has actually taken the lead on Lewis Hamilton, so that's sort of some luck for me in terms of my championship aspirations. At the moment, I'll be losing 3 points to Lewis Hamilton, so he'll get 18 points and I'll be only getting 15 points, which means that I'll be losing 3 points in the championship. However, a lot can still happen in that amount of time, but we ride back on board with Sebastian Vettel from a live camera feed this time, as we're about to be heading over towards our pit stop era. So this is going to be difficult for us. We want to get our pit stop perfect because the Mercedes are 1 and 2. However, as you can see there, look, top right, Hamilton and Rosberg have pitted at the exact same time. They're going to double stack. This is when I thought to myself, hang on a minute, I remember. For some stupid reason, and I said it in the last video, the AIs, they decide to just stack up their cars, okay? So, as we come into the pits here, you should see it. There's Hamilton, look, he's stuck. He's been held up there. So, this means I've got a good chance to close up on Lewis Hamilton. But, so we change out of the yellow marked soft tyres and we got onto the medium tyres. And, boom. That behind us is Lewis Hamilton. We've jumped Hamilton at the stops, which is flipping crucial. You can see that's a Mercedes car. There's Lewis Hamilton. He is behind us now. And that is absolutely wonderful for our championship hopes. As we need to make sure that we finish in front of Lewis Hamilton to kind of extend the championship lead, because the next two races, which are going to be Belgium and Italy, are my favourite tracks on the calendar. So if I can do well, so if I can get a championship if I can extend my lead here in Hungary, my weakest track on the calendar, against Hamilton, that's going to be awesome. And then we can go into Belgium and Italy with our heads held high and my strongest tracks and try and extend it even further there. But we're coming around now through lap 9. As you can see, we've just come out of the pits, trying to get the tyres up to temperature just a little bit, because we want to make sure that we don't do something stupid and run off the circuit. You can see what in front of us is Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez. They're not going to be too much of an issue for me because they've just come out of, they haven't quite stopped yet. They'll be making their pit stop at the end of the lap. So they'll be getting out of my way, and also I want them to get out of the way, because if they decide to stay out, Hamilton's got a great chance to close in on me. Also, Raikkonen and Bottas, who have actually just come in for their pit stops as well, will be could possibly jump me in the pit stops and take my position. But as you can see there, Alonso and Perez, they didn't stay out for very long. They came back into the pits. Hamilton, you can see coming around the final corner just behind me. I'm also behind Hamilton. I was in the 1 second window for DRS as we come down the pit straight, but you can see there's Bottas. We go and past Raikkonen, but Bottas is in front of us as we come down to turn 1. We try and go around the outside. It's not going to work though. Bottas has jumped us in the pit stop, but I've got DRS now coming down, as you can see, sliding off the circuit just a little bit. Bottas, small contact between me and him. I do a switch back into turn 3. Me and Bottas, a bit more contact made because I needed to try and get some space. Bottas didn't leave it, but we have done the job. We went very aggressive on Valtteri Bottas, and that is awesome. Bottas is 3rd, Raikkonen is 4th. Hamilton now is down in 5th place, so for championship points, that's going to be 5 points extended in the championship. We're going to skip ahead though to lap 12 of the Grand Prix now. You can see, or lap 13 now, because we've just come across the line. You can see Bottas there about 2 seconds behind us. So he is in a, he's further enough away, you know, it's a decent gap. Rosberg's about 11 seconds clear. I had no match for the pace of Rosberg around Hungary, because again, I'm not very good around Hungary, so I wasn't really too disappointed, as long as Hamilton could stay there. But as you can see behind us, the gap opens up straight away. Hamilton's up to 3rd. Bottas and Raikkonen had just dropped back all of a sudden, and I was really confused into what they actually did. And we're going to go find out what they did. So you can see Bottas and Raikkonen are scrapping. Into turn 2 now. We're coming up to the run down to turn 2. There's me just in front. Bottas is on the inside, Raikkonen's on the outside. And as Raikkonen turns in, they sort of just get stuck in each other. They get stuck. They're both trying to turn, and they get stuck in each other, and then they bang wheels again. And then they just carry on normally. Massa, you can see right behind them now, which is kind of scary for an... Oops, I pressed the start button there whilst I was racing. Which is kind of scary because that unleashed Lewis Hamilton. And on lap 17, he's right up my bumhole. As you can see, he is very close to me. He was closing ever since he got past Bottas and Raikkonen. Now, my engineer was telling me that Hamilton's actually on mix 3 right now, which is gives you the most amount of pace. So he's on the high res. Hamilton now with DRS on the final lap. This is crucial. I need to stay in front of him. We break into turn 1. Hamilton does not get around me. I kick the inside line, and I completely squeeze him out. And now down the run to turn 2. Hamilton has DRS again, but he is not close enough. And as we go into turn 3, I have still managed to keep my advantage against Lewis Hamilton. He has not managed to pass me. We run a little bit wide going into turn 2. Now down into turn 3. We now start to increase our speed coming up the hill towards turn 4. Hamilton has a good chance, but he does not take it, and we manage to stay in front of Lewis Hamilton. And it's a clean maneuver. And now for pretty much the vast majority of the track now, I'll be able to keep Lewis Hamilton behind. That was the 2 worrying parts there, the run up into turn 4. And obviously the DRS down the pit straight. But Hamilton has not managed to take his chances. And it's going to be difficult for him now to get past us. And as you can see, Rosberg is probably about 13, 14 seconds ahead of us. He dominated the whole Grand Prix. He got a good start from 2nd place. He managed to overtake Lewis Hamilton. And you'll see any minute now it will pop up saying Rosberg has taken the checkered flag whenever it decides it wants to. It says that I'm in P2. There we go, Nico Rosberg has crossed the line. He takes the win. for the Hungarian Grand Prix. But we come around now through the final corner here, just making sure that we keep it correct. We go a little bit wide, have to lift off the throttle. We back straight out of the slipstream. Lewis Hamilton directly behind us, but we take no notice of that. We finish in second. Hamilton down in third, right behind us though. It went right to the wire. And from there on in, we managed to extend our lead in the championship, which is awesome. Hamilton took 7 points out of us in Silverstone, but we managed to take 3 points out of... We managed to extend our championship by 3 points in Hungary. That's going to wrap it up, though, for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to some more daily content. I'm sorry that Silverstone was not the best Grand Prix. Nothing happened in Silverstone. Hungary, there's a little bit happening. Not loads, though. And also, I will be working on getting audios and stuff in sync, because I keep getting audio out of sync every time, ever since I've gone to Windows sodding 10. So I'll make sure everything's all sorted, because there's been a couple of glitches for the last 2 episodes, which I know you guys are aware of, and I'll get that all sorted. But until then, guys, I'll see you in another video. Take care. Goodbye.